We're at today Balfagan House, an abandoned house. Let's get cracking. First of all, let's get over here. Okay, an interesting start to the adventure. I presume they used to be able to drive a car up here because the gates are big enough for a car. But this is abandoned since I believe the early 1990s, and there's very little information regarding it. It's called Balfagan House, and I think it's only called Balfagan House because it's in the area of Balfagan. The most interesting thing, well, the most interesting story about this is the urban myth about it. And the urban myth is that an Arabian, actually hang on, you have to see my face to believe this story. An Arabian sheik bought a stud farm near here. So to breed and rear thoroughbred racehorses and so on. And he left his son in charge of it. Now, I don't know whether it's meant to be a new build or bought, but his son lived in this house. And one of the cool things about this house, I have been here before, one of the cool things is it actually has a swimming pool. But anyway, his son is supposed to have been living a life of decadence and luxury, and his father was not impressed. So apparently his father sold the stud farm, took the responsibility away from the son, and told him to move home to wherever country they were originally from, and it's been abandoned ever since. So among people who kind of like these locations, it's known as the Sheik's house. And like I said, the pool is one of the things. But listen, obviously I'll show you everything. Alright, talk to you in a sec. It's it's outside a popular village. I can only, oh shit, sorry. This fucking tree is attacking me. I'm friends with trees. It's in a popular village, and it's a large amount of land. It's very scenic. You can see this here. I'll show you, look. Like up this crest here, the building is just over here. Like, it's really nice. I can only imagine that the land is still owned by the original owners, sheiks or whoever they are. But yeah, it's actually a really nice location, you know, especially this time of year when everything's green and the trees are attacking me. So let's see. Sorry, itchy nose. Okay, I think the best way to go, I'm going to go this way. These palm trees are evidence of a once nice garden. And here we are. Now, spider web. Now look. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, we ready? Let's go. Old sash windows. One thing I did notice with this place before is I don't think there was any expense spared. So as usual, the floor is completely rotten. Let's have a look in here. We have a bridge. I'm gonna check the bridge. Yeah, that's okay. And that's it. And we are in. Jeez, that's so fucking dodgy. Okay. I'm actually going to stop recording so I have two hands in case this gives way. I'll be back in a sec. Hey, so while exploring this house, I'm after discovering something a little unnerving, a little bit unusual. And if you're squeamish, you maybe shouldn't watch any further seriously. Right, so I love these sites. I love the megalithic sites. I love the lost sites. I love the medieval sites. I love these abandoned buildings. And they'll often have urban myths attached to them. And the urban myths will sometimes be about murder, which are almost every time untrue. You know, other things of that sort. And there's often, of course, haunted, and sometimes the occult and, you know, cult practices, and 99% of that is just colourful bullshit, you know what I mean? But today, something strange is after happening. So, to the right there, to the far right is where I've come in. And I've explored the rooms right to left. They all look like bedrooms to me. I'll show you here. Be very careful with the floors. They all have fireplaces and absolutely beautiful windows. And as I'm working my way down, I'll show you in here in a few minutes. That's a large living room, kind of. Yeah, it's a lovely place in there. There was once carpet here. When I was here before, there was carpet here. But anyway, I came in here, so I'll show you this, right? You won't see this every day. So, I come in here. There's a little bit of a musty smell. There's the fireplace. And then I found these two unfortunates. We're not entirely sure what that means, because that's a little confusing to me. Because they're not lambs, vulnerable lambs. They're fully grown, mature sheep. One is being totally taken apart. And if this was injury or illness and it just died here in shelter, you'd expect to see, well, I would expect to see one, not two. You'd say, oh, they came in here, got lost. You don't get lost here. All the windows are broken. There's no doors. You can just walk in, walk out. It's a little precarious, but sheep don't think about that. So if they came in here, they can find a way back out. As far as I can see, there's two slaughtered sheep in here. And what do you make of that? And look at this. So there's a musty smell in here. It's not very pleasant. I'm going to leave this room. That's strange, huh? I've come across things before in places. I've come across like what look like altars and places of offering with candles and so on, but they're often accompanied by beer bottles and beer cans. This is certainly the strangest thing I've ever come across. It might mean nothing, but to me, there's questions there, you know. Okay, let's continue the adventure. Didn't get killed going across that floor. You just have to kind of follow the beams underneath. But in what was, I think, a living room, would have been a lovely living room. Actually, let me walk over here a little bit and show you here. So an enormous window, so loads of natural light. This is a way in with quite a nice door here. Art Deco-ish in the outside. Let's say this was once you could sit here. It's fair, it's all gone now. Very 70s looking, you know. You had your fireplace, an absolutely huge room. And then to the rest of the house, you had your staircase and another fireplace, very cozy. Actually, look, there's the old carpet. Look. That's seen better days. Yeah. So here, see the beams? You kind of follow the beams where the beams are, if you know what I mean. And then these Satan worshippers have fairly kindly left bridges all over the place. Some absolutely awesome graffiti and some absolutely terrible wallpaper. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous, huh? So leaving this place now, and I'll show you the real kind of, well, I sound like the worst estate agent ever. I was going to say I'll show you the selling point of this place, but the selling point, I suppose, if you were selling it, would be the pool house, and I'll go and show you the pool house now. So let's get out of here. Anybody who watches me knows I love a good tile. Look. It's amazing the way all the green masks everything. Like you're looking at the pool house now, but you can barely even see it. Some nice wildflowers around here. Okay, this is dead cool. This is actually what I came here really to show you, because it's so unusual. So look. Okay. I'm getting attacked by trees again. Hang on. Right, here we go. You ready? So, in the doors, and down here, oh, look at that. Now, I told you it was worth the wait, huh? But it's in surprisingly good condition, the wood and so on, you know, even the roof. So what do you think of that, huh? There's something a bit strange. You see the rope? Let me show you. So it looks like some kids were maybe daring each other to swing from one side to the other. That's a shit there. You want to be putting up a lot of money. You wouldn't want to go into that stuff. Anyway, yeah, so that's it really. Strange discovery with the sheep. That looked very suspicious. I've done plenty of research in this place, but there's practically nothing out there. There's the what's most likely untrue, although interesting story of the Sheik and the son. Although whoever did live here, it was fairly salubrious in fairness, like, you know, pool house. I only called it that name earlier because that's what people have called it, but it's really only because of the area. I'd love to know more, I really would, but hey, listen. And on the off chance, the extreme off chance that someone does know something, give me a shout, huh? Right. Me and Snoopy will bid you adios, amigos. See you next time. Postscript. So I flew the drone to get a couple of interesting shots, see what I could see, and to my surprise I seen a load of outbuildings at the very back of this place. You see how overgrown it is, so I couldn't see them from where I was, but I seen them on the drone. I said, oh, well, have a nosy, huh? So let's have a look. And, stables, not sure what that is. Has a tiled roof, probably someone lived there. Well, you know that story that the Sheik owned a stud place, a stud farm, do you call them, I don't know, for horses? Well, maybe that was partly true, because whoever it was had an interest in horses, and maybe this was a stud in its own right. But I can see down behind me through those gates there's more stuff. Look. There's my little trusty chopper. So yeah, that story is at least partly true. Hey, look at this. Someone had to go with a safe, huh? They got it open. Yeah, if you ever want to know what a safe is made of, that's what it's made of. About 6 mil of steel, then concrete, then more steel. See the marks? This was done with an angle grinder and a hammer, or a jackhammer. I wonder did they find anything? We never know, huh? Wouldn't you love to know what happened to the people that lived here? You know, they obviously had a very rich life. I don't mean in material senses. I mean living here, the horses, the pool, the whole lot. What the hell happened, huh? Okay, I think this time is truly adios amigos. I hope this video is not too long, and thanks for sticking around. Okay, until next time.